Hey everyone, I am Tiffany Thomas and I am super excited for day 9 of our 12 days of stocks. The series has been so fun to do and I hope you guys have been learning so much. I've really enjoyed doing all of these stock videos and hopefully, this is providing some great information about stocks for you guys. So, I am Tiffany Thomas with wealthytiffany.com, and today I'm going to help you overcome some of your fears about investing in stocks. And no, I'm not going to help you overcome your fears of spiders because I have not overcome that fear yet. It's true. Like I said, this is day 9 of the 12 days of stocks, overcoming your fears of investing in stocks. And before I dive in, you guys tell me something you're afraid of. Are you afraid of spiders like I am, or maybe you're just afraid of losing money in the stock market, or maybe you're afraid of snakes? Tell me what it is. Even if you're watching the replay, I'm curious to know, what are you afraid of? And you guys stay with me for today and the next 3 days, and I will reveal the full scoop on stocks. And even though it's going to be a good time, the real reason you should stick around is because of all of the earth-shattering information I will be sharing that will help you make more money with stocks. I am Tiffany Thomas, like I said, and I have helped individuals like yourself go from completely confused about the stock market to confident investors. And stick with me long enough and you just might learn a thing or two that will help you make some money. You're welcome. All right, day 9, overcome your fears of investing in stocks. So let's talk about fear number 1, losing all of your money. A lot of people are afraid they are going to lose all of their money in the stock market. For example, maybe you have an uncle who heard about someone that, lost his whole life savings in the stock market and was in financial ruin. And although, perhaps that is possible, if you apply the strategies I've been teaching you about stocks, and, the strategies that I provide in my course as well, Buy Your First Stock in 48 Hours, it's highly unlikely. And one way to help you overcome this fear is to diversify, which we talked a little bit about in one of the earlier videos. And, we can lower our risk by investing in more than one type of investment. For example, we can purchase a technology stock and maybe a retail stock. Or we can put a certain percentage of our money in stocks and then put another percentage in funds and some in real estate. So we can diversify that way as well. And that's actually what I prefer to do. So I have some of my investments in individual stocks, and then I have some in index funds and some in real estate. So it really helps to lower that risk of losing all your money. That's one way to help you overcome that fear of losing all of your money in the stock market. And I want to show you something really cool. So I have a stock comparison chart. And if you are watching on Instagram, you can watch the video on my Facebook page, Tiffany Thomas, Your Wealth Mentor. And you can also watch the replay later on. But I'm going to share a graph. So it's comparing some stocks. And let me actually share my screen here. Okay, perfect. So what I've done is I have just pulled some of the stocks that I thought would be, something you guys are familiar with. So I have on this graph right here, I have Apple stock, Google, Facebook, Netflix, and Coca-Cola. And then I have just the S&P 500. So that would be if you invested in an index fund that follows the S&P 500. So it follows the stock market essentially. So if you take a look at the graph that I have, you can see that the blue line is the S&P 500. And then you can see the purple line is Apple, and then the orange is Google stock, and the red is Facebook. And then the green color is Netflix, and then the gray color is Coca-Cola. So you can see right down here, and I just did it for 5 years, just to give you an idea on what it would be like if you invested in these stocks just 5 years ago. And you can see down here, so the blue line stays pretty close to the bottom, you can see right here. And then if we look at these other lines, so some of them are pretty close to that S&P 500, pretty close to the overall stock market. And then some of them come up a little bit higher. So this orange one is Google. And then you can see Facebook really took off. So that is way above the blue line, the whole stock market. And then you can see Netflix is way up here. So you can see by investing in individual stocks that you can get a higher return than just investing in the overall stock market in just, a particular fund. And, this is just one way to look at it. So you can see how much more your returns would have been if you would have bought some of these stocks. And, some of them do follow the stock market pretty closely. But there's some really great stocks that have really high returns. And that's what, we want to be choosing is some really good stocks with some high returns. And of course, some stocks do better. So if you have more stocks, more than just one stock in your portfolio, then you'll be reducing that risk, like we talked about earlier, from losing money. And, you can maybe have about 10 stocks in your portfolio. And that helps to reduce that risk and, have a little more increase. So, if you had a combination of all of these, your return would still be really good. Because, these are still above just the general stock market if you were just to invest in a fund. So knowing these things, that you can have more than one stock in your portfolio, and it really helps to diversify and lower the risk of, losing money. And it helps you get higher returns if you have more than one stock in your portfolio. And of course, you can just start with one stock and that will work great and then move up from there. So you can continue to increase your returns by investing in stocks. And I want to show you guys something else. This is a stock market graph. So, like I mentioned, if you are watching on Instagram, you can pop over to my Facebook page, Tiffany Thomas, your wealth mentor, and you can see the graphs that I'm showing. So I'm just showing a stock market graph right now. And, it shows that the trend, it goes up and down a little bit, but the stock market always goes back up. That's inevitable. So there's, some dips in the stock market, and just by keeping that in mind, you can help to reduce your fear of investing. Just knowing that, there will be dips in the stock market, but that it will always go back up. And, if you're not really sure which stocks to choose, I go over my complete criteria system in my course, Buy Your First Stock in 48 Hours. So that will really help you decide which stocks would be beneficial, which would give, a higher return, which ones could be profitable. And you guys give me some yeses if this helps to reduce your fear of losing money in the stock market. And, if you're finding this information helpful, then tag a friend who would find this beneficial as well. I would love that. So give me some yeses in the comments if, this is helping to reduce your fear of losing money in the stock market. And okay, we are going to go to fear number 2. And I'm going to come back and so you can see me again. Okay, perfect. So fear number 2. How will I know the best time to invest? People, ask that question all the time. I don't know, should I wait? Should I, buy some now? Or how should I do it? When should I invest? When's the best time? And I totally get that. You're not sure when you should buy stocks. Maybe they'll drop right after, or maybe they will rise right after you buy them. You never know. So, for example, say if you wanted to buy Google stock, but you aren't sure when you want to purchase Google stock, here's what I'm going to say to that. I'm going to say buy some Google stock now and buy some more later and continue to repeat that. As long as you're investing in a good stock, then you can continue to purchase that stock and it will continue to rise in price. And, as I talked about yesterday, the best time to invest is actually several years ago. And the second best time is right now. So the sooner you get in, the better off you'll be. We don't wait to buy stocks. We buy stocks and wait. And if you've done your homework on your stocks and you know it's a good stock to buy, then you can go ahead and buy it. You can invest in it. And you can buy, maybe 10 shares of it right now, and then you can buy 10 more shares later on, right? Maybe next month or something. And maybe it would have gone up or down a little bit, but as long as you know that that's a good stock, then you can continue to invest in it. And just getting in is key, right? That's where we start, because we can become more familiar with the process and how it works. And you can continue to become a better investor. And, in my course, Buy Your First Stock in 48 Hours, I go over my exact thought process when I actually made $5,000 off just one stock. So I go over when I bought, why I bought, and, when I sold that and why. So I go into all of those details for that particular case. And you can get access to that at buyyourfirststock.com. So give me some yeses, you guys, if you want to be making more money without working for it, because that's what we're talking about here. That's what investing in stocks is. We're making our money work for us instead of us working for our money. And give me one word give me one word on how you're feeling right now. Are you excited about investing in stocks? Is it still stressing you out? Do you feel lucky? I want to know what's one word you're feeling right now, one emotion that you're feeling. Let me know how you guys are taking in this information. Okay, and we are going to move to fear number 3. I'm too queasy for the ups and downs of the market. I've heard people say that, like, oh, it just makes me sick. It goes down and then it goes back up. And, some people are really nervous about all of these ups and downs in the market because, as we talked about earlier, right, the market does go up and down and prices of the stocks will go up and down. For example, I want to share with you guys just a quick chart. So I chose Google so you guys can see this. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a quick example on on what Google looks like, the Google stock. And this is the price of Google over the past year. So as you can see, the price has, gone up and then it came down a little bit and then up and then down a little and then it went up quite a bit and then just down a little bit, up and down. So it's gone up and down, but it has that upward trend. And, if you don't like seeing those little ups and downs, then, ignore your investments. You don't need to be checking your stocks every day. You'll go crazy, right? And I'm not talking about day trading, right? I'm talking about investing in stocks for the long term so you can make money over the long term. And in my course, I go over when to check stocks to not drive yourself crazy. And you can find that at buyyourfirststock.com. So give me some yeses if you like knowing that you don't have to worry about your investments every day. You don't have to go crazy watching, every little up and down that happens. Give me some yeses in the comments if that's a little more reassuring that you don't have to be checking your stocks every day. And, even if you're watching the replay, I want to know, give me some yeses if that is reassuring to you. And, share this video as well if you're finding this information helpful and you know that others can benefit from it. I would love it if you would share the video with everyone. Okay, you guys, let's talk about fear number 4. I don't have time to manage my portfolio. It's going to take way too much of my time. And, people worry they won't be able to keep up with managing their portfolios, their investments. And for example, people are afraid that if they're constantly watching their portfolio investments, that they won't make as much money or, have as much money in there as they would like. And, that's why I recommend having no more than 10 stocks in your portfolio. And, you can diversify, like I mentioned before, with other investments, like having a percentage in index funds or in real estate. You don't have to have everything in stocks. It's just a really good way to get a high return on your investment. That's why I like stocks. And you can easily keep an eye on them without taking hardly any time at all. Even with 10 stocks in your portfolio, you don't need to be checking them every day. It's really not that time consuming, honestly. And, I do go over the information about how often you should be checking your stocks in my course, Buy Your First Stock in 48 Hours. And it's very manageable. It really doesn't take that much time. And you guys, if you are liking what you're learning today, please give me some yeses, give me some hearts, some likes. I want to make sure that you guys are liking this information, that you're understanding it. So give me some yeses in the comments. And you guys, if you want more information, comment with more in the comments. And I'm going to go on to the next fear that we're going to talk about. So comment with more, and I'm going to go on to the next point. Okay. Fear number 5. What if I need the money, right? People are worried they're going to need the money right away. And sure, it's a valid fear. And, I want to share how to overcome that fear. So you want to know your purpose for investing. You want to know your purpose for your investments. And I've talked about this multiple times before. This is one thing that I really preach about, right? It's the first step to investing. When you have a purpose for your investments, it makes investing a whole lot easier. You know which investment vehicle will work best for you because you have that purpose, right? So for example, let's say you want to access your money within 1 year. Then stocks may not be the best choice for that, right? There would be another investment vehicle that would be better. And if you want, your money in maybe, 5 years or longer, then stocks could be a great choice for that. And, we definitely don't want to be investing our emergency fund. So if this is money that you're going to be needing right away, like tomorrow or next week or something, then the stocks will not be the option for that. We don't want to be investing our emergency fund in stocks because it's still risky. But like I mentioned before, when we buy stocks and wait, then we can see that return and it will start to grow and we can start to make more money from stocks. And you guys, if you write down what you're investing for and when you'll need the money, it will make investing a lot easier because you have that purpose in mind, right? For example, maybe you want to save for a down payment on a house, or you want to save for your dream vacation to Italy or the Caribbean or something like that, right? And you can write down your purpose and when you're going to need the money, and then you can choose the best investment vehicle, which makes investing so much easier, right? And makes it a lot less confusing. And, in my course, Buy Your First Stock in 48 Hours, I go over different reasons for investing in stocks and show you exactly how to do it. And like I said before, you can find it at buyyourfirststock.com. So I want to know, how many ahas have you had as we've gone through the 9 days of the 12 days of stocks? How many ahas have you had? Put in the comments, have you had maybe just one, or maybe you've had 5? I want to know how many ahas you've had as we've gone through the video series so far, all 9 days. How many ahas have you had? Even if you're watching the replay, I want to know. I'm going to go back through the comments. And before I do the recap for today, tell me in 3 words what one of your ahas was. It could be, from day 1 or day 3 or 7 or whatever it might be, all the days from day 1 to day 9. I want to know in 3 words, what was one of the ahas you've had? Maybe it was stocks are simple, or stocks are fun to invest in. Or stocks equals money, whatever it is. I want to know one of your ahas that you've had so far. I would love to see that in the comments. All right, let's do the recap for today. So we talked about overcoming 5 different fears of investing in stocks. So the first one we talked about was how to not lose all of your money in the stock market. And number 2, we talked about the best time to invest. And number 3, we talked about overcoming the queasiness of the ups and downs of the stock market. And number 4, we talked about not having enough time to manage your portfolio. And then number 5, we talked about what if I need the money right away, right? So we addressed all of those fears today. And you guys, if addressing all of these fears has helped you want to invest in stocks, and, you can definitely do that. And I have my course, which breaks it down. That's super simple for you. Buy Your First Stock in 48 Hours. You can find it at buyyourfirststock.com. So you can start making more money with stocks. And you guys, if you want to watch the replays, they are available on my Facebook page, Tiffany Thomas, Your Wealth Mentor. You can find all 9 days on my Facebook page. And you guys, I will see you tomorrow for day 10, we are going to be talking about achieving financial freedom even sooner with stocks. So that'll be tomorrow, the same time, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on my Facebook page, and I'll be broadcasting to Instagram as well. So I will see you guys then. All right. Have a good day.